Defending Jesus. Who does a better job of defending Jesus? Christians or Muslims? Man, just listen to Owen Benjamin on the listen to his most recent live stream talking about Christians are just cuckold, is that what's called? And talk about South Park. Look, I like South Park. Frankly, it's blasphemous. Whatever, man, it is. No other way around that. South Park tried to do stuff of Muhammad. Comedy Central shut them down because the Muslims don't take kindly to their prophet being mocked. Rightly so, in my dad. And yet, here we are watching Jesus be mocked. And not as Jesus a prophet, he is God, the Savior of all mankind. And don't forget, Jesus is a prophet in the Quran, right? So, who do you think defends Jesus more? For the sacred book, Christians? I'm looking at me. I'm 100% looking at me. Or Muslims? Who would you want on your side to defend Jesus? The Muslims or the Christians? And I think we all know the answer to that. Man, have we lost our way. I had never thought of, well, I kind of did. I kind of did. Just you watching, Jesus being mocked relentlessly, and you kind of chuckle. You're like, in your heart, you're like, yeah, that's not good. But, and I'm not even saying it's what the cool kids do. It is, but how do we allow that to happen? And that doesn't mean go freaking bombing places or something like that. I just, what are you? I'm talking literally to myself. What am I doing to not allow this to happen for my own life? Because if I don't allow it to happen in my life, and you don't allow it to happen in your life, then lo and behold, that's a tsunami being built of just saying no. We're saying no anymore. No, we're not taking that. Now, I would never. I hate to say that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Do you freaking say you can't write bad things of Jesus? I don't know. I don't know what the thing is there. But for us, it's kind of like, I will never have an abortion, if that makes sense. Thus, I'm a man. Obviously, I can't get pregnant, right? At least we weren't able to get pregnant a couple years ago. Anyway, at the end of the day, because I'll never have an abortion, I can be pro-life pretty freely, right? Now, if I'm a woman, you got to choose that for yourself. I would actually say you should have the baby, 100%. Should there be a law against people providing abortions? Yes, unequivocally there should. Unequivocally. But if I'm going around as a man, sleeping with ladies, getting them pregnant, and then telling them to have abortions, like some Republicans are known to do, I forgot who it was, some pretty Christian type Republicans too, and then you're saying I'm against abortion, you're a freaking hypocrite of the highest order. And I have a sneaky suspicion God is going to hold us hypocrites of the highest order to the most accountability. Because he blessed. I tell you, man, it's scary. You're thinking about how we violated God by allowing Jesus being mocked into your own mindset at your own home. Now, you can't do anything explicitly to solve that for the world in terms of politics and stuff like that. You can't. You just don't have enough power. But you can certainly say, no, not in my house. In my house, I will follow. Listen, in this house, I will worship the Lord, whatever it is. But you can't do that if you're watching shows that do mock the Savior of all mankind. You can't sit there and say the Muslims should allow us to mock Muhammad as a prophet. And the only reason you're saying that is because you're like, look, we allow Jesus to be mocked. Why do we allow Jesus to be mocked? Because we're so ingrained in sin, man. It's just that simple. It's simple. It's that flippin' simple. I know. I'm talking to myself here. I'm talking out loud to myself. I allow sin into my heart. Thus, there is no sin that I can say, oh, you shouldn't do that. Well, I'm allowing it into my heart as a self. Thus, I say the easy way is, oh, man, let's just let him mock Jesus. It's no big deal because, Jesus is cool. He's like a hippie Jesus. That's scary stuff, man. And then you look, well, I can't believe Muslims. It's just a cartoon. They're like, no. But isn't there biblical that you shall have no gods before God, right? You should make no images. worship no images and stuff. You're like, yeah, we're worshiping a, how dare you Muslims, because it's just a picture of Muhammad. You're like, no, they're saying no. There should be no images of the prophet. I think that's in the Old Testament too. There should be no images of the Lord. And yet here we are, where not only we have images of Jesus, we have images where he's being relentlessly mocked. Not just in South Park, all over the place. And we know in our hearts we shouldn't be doing that, but we laugh, we chuckle, because it feels good. About all the other stuff that we do that feels good. So who would you want to defend Jesus more? Muslim brothers and sisters or Christians? I mean, think about it. We know the answer to that. Because the Muslims live truer to their word than we do. Oh man, we just been so, and I'm saying, look, I don't know about the African Christians, the Chinese. I'm just talking about the Western religious Christians. We're so convinced of our superiority because of our just insane amount of wealth. And look, I'm talking again. If that's not you, then you have nothing to worry about. It's me. We're so convinced our ability to go to Costco, where I'm coming back from, buying a whole bunch of material stuff with money that I've achieved via just by my happenstance of being born in the West. You see what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with me. And yet we turn our way from God and allow the Savior of all mankind to be mocked in your own home. And you sit there and then you're saying, oh, I believe in pro-life, as you're sitting there sleeping around, as you're sitting there hook up with chicks, and then I mean, I don't know, man. That's something to think about. The reason I love Owen Benjamin, the spiritual awakening I'm having by listening to this guy, is that it just is fantastic. But it's scary fantastic, because he challenges. He says, look, man, we're all living in sin. We're all living as hypocrites. We're all sinning on porn, sinning on gluttony. We're all sinning on lust. We're all sinning on, just not respecting God's law. There are groups of people who don't. Not that many Christians in the West, that's for doggone sure. Muslims, there's some, Hasidic Jews, 100%. But from the Abrahamic religions of what we are raised on, the majority, if not the vast majority, are just not living a Christian life at all. And as such, hypocrites. I think Jesus talks about that, doesn't he? I don't know you. You didn't know me, so I didn't know you. I tell you, man, it's scary. You better have a literal come to Jesus meeting in your brain, because what are you doing to defend Jesus? And if the answer is you're a glutton, you're lustful, you're mocking Jesus just by your following things that do mock Jesus, we're gonna have a lot to be held accountable to. It's gonna get ugly. All right, love to hear your thoughts.